Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and today I have something a little different for you guys. It's not going to be cleaning, decorating, home decor, or anything like that, but I'm going to be sharing a part of my life with you guys, and one of the most important parts of my life, and that is my sister and her story. So my little sister Casey is going to be 22 this upcoming Monday on March 26th, and I wanted to use this opportunity as for her birthday to share a little bit about her. So if you didn't know, I am the oldest of 4. I am 27, my sister's about to be 22, and then I have an 11-year-old brother and a 7-year-old sister. What makes Casey so special is Casey is actually diagnosed with DRAVET syndrome. And you may not be familiar with that term because it's a rare disorder. So I'm actually going to bring my mom in here, and we're going to talk a little bit about Casey, her life, and her journey. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and get a little taste of someone who's very special to me and someone I call my hero. All right, Mama, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Carol. I'm Naomi's mom, and I'm Casey's mom.
I'm Jessica, and I am Casey's nurse.
How long have you been a nurse for Casey, Jessica?
I have been a nurse with Casey for 5.5 years.
Okay. So, Mama, what exactly is Dravet syndrome?
It is a mutated gene in the sodium chain of the DNA that can cause severe myoclonic epilepsy that can be life-threatening. It is a regressive disorder that causes severe seizures.
Okay, why don't you explain a little bit to us about Casey's story? Was she born with it? When was she diagnosed?
She was born with the mutation but didn't show any signs of it until she was 6 months old. At 6 months old, she had her first seizure, and then they just never stopped. When she was 4, she had a 6.5-hour long seizure that caused brain damage. She was on life support for 3 days with that one, and then they just gradually have gotten worse and worse and worse through the years, and she's had a complete corpus callosotomy done, which was a lifesaver. It stopped the seizures from jumping from side to side of her brain, so they wouldn't last for hours. The longest one since she had that surgery has been 25 minutes. She did also receive a VNS. She's been on medication trials, and she's currently taking CBD oil, which has been a miracle.
What exactly is a corpus callosotomy?
The corpus callosotomy is, the corpus callosum is the part of the brain that connects the two sides of the brain together. When they do a corpus callosotomy, they go and they sever that connection, so they cut that connection completely in half.
What age did she have that surgery?
She was, I want to say 8.
How hard was that decision for you and Daddy to make?
It was one of the hardest decisions we've had to make through everything with Casey. I kind of put it in God's hands and made the decision that if we were able to raise the money that we needed, which was $2,500 to make the trip and be able to stay down there for 2 weeks in Houston, then it was meant to be, and we ended up making over $5,000. Okay, on the way to Houston, at one point we even pulled over to the side of the road and wanted to turn around, but knew it was the right decision to continue with the trip. We thought that she was only going to have a partial, but then the doctor came out mid-surgery and said that he recommended a complete. And we all prayed, and then he went back in and did it, and Casey walked out of the hospital a week later.
Did you notice any significant changes after she had the surgery?
Yes, her seizures weren't as long and they weren't as hard. They didn't jump from side to side. They would only stay on one side of her body.
At what age did you notice that something may have been wrong with Casey?
When she was 6 months old and she had her first seizure was when we noticed the big difference. I remember the day of her very first seizure. It was in August. Naomi was at school, and we were sitting on the couch, and my sister-in-law was holding her. And at first she thought she was playing because she was jerking, and then we realized that she was seizing. And we ran and jumped in the car to take her to the hospital, and I remember begging my sister-in-law not to let her die. And we got to the ER. They said it was a febrile seizure and she had an ear infection, and they just never stopped. After that, it was, constant trips to the ER. When she was 4 and she had the bad seizure, that was when I lost a part of Casey. I lost the Casey that I had before and went home with a different child. But I didn't care because I just begged God to give her back to me, and I would never complain, and I could never complain because she's a gift.
After the bad seizure she had at 4, you said that was 6 hours long?
Yeah, 6.5 hours long, yes.
What changes did you notice in her after that?
Before, she was normal. She would sing and talk and dance, didn't have any issues walking. Afterwards, her speech was delayed. She had trouble walking. She had a blank look in her eye a lot of the times. She just wasn't the same. She wasn't her happy, cheerful self that she was before. It took a while before that part of her came back gradually.
So growing up, I remember the doctors never really quite knowing what was wrong with Casey. They said that she had grand mal seizures and was on the spectrum of autism for a long time. What was it like when Casey was finally diagnosed with Dravet syndrome? Did you feel a sense of relief that you finally knew?
I remember the day like it was yesterday. I was at work and I got the phone call from the neurologist. So I went into the teacher's break room and he told me that we finally had a diagnosis and that she had Dravet, and I just started bawling. Through all of the years, I would have my moments of breakdown, but in that moment, it was a sense of relief, but yet it was a sense of fear because even though I had a diagnosis, I didn't know what the future was. And then he started to tell me that there was a 20% mortality rate, and I just started bawling, and then he just kept saying, but that's not Casey. You need to understand that's not Casey. And I think that was the first time that I actually really cried really hard because the neurologist, he actually made the comment, okay, this isn't you. You don't cry like this. It's all going to be okay. What is the matter? How can I reassure you? And I told him it's both the fact that I know now, but then I don't know because Dravet had just been found. Dr. DRAVET from France had found it, but nobody really knew anything about it yet. It was new. They knew kind of what went along with it, but not really, because Casey at the time, I think, was the only one in Oklahoma with the diagnosis.
And how old was Casey when she was officially diagnosed?
She was 12.
So you went 12 years not fully knowing or understanding what was wrong with your daughter.
Yes.
And looking back, is that a difficult time in your life?
I wouldn't say difficult. It was just the unknown. I remember begging on the phone to the doctors, trying to get tests done, and one big one comes to mind when Casey was 2 and she'd been having all the seizures, and I was on the phone with the medical assistant at the neurologist's office and I was begging them for an MRI because she hadn't had one yet. And they told me they didn't feel the need to do a $2,000 test to appease a mother's mind.
Oh my God.
Yes. And so I was very angry.
And that's something a lot of parents of disabled children go through, isn't it? That the doctors, they just tell you that they don't need to ease your mind or say not very sensitive things like that.
Yeah, yes, through the years we have had that many times. Doctors that have not dealt with special needs kids that just look at a parent of, oh, this is just another crazy special needs parent. They don't know, I know what's best. And they need to understand that, yeah, there are some crazy parents that are out there, but we're not all crazy. And that we're a team. We need to work together to figure out what's best for the child or adult that has special needs and their care.
If there was one thing you could tell people about being a parent of a special needs child, what would that be?
It's one of the greatest experiences you can have once you finally come to terms with it. Coming to terms with it for some people is more difficult than others. I won't say it's easy because you do more in the what ifs that you would have. Yeah, what could have been. Like on her 16th birthday, I won't lie, I was a little sad because, with Naomi, I had that 16th birthday. I had where she got her license and she got to drive, and her first date and prom and her wedding day. And with Casey, I had to sit and think, you know, she's not going to have that. But she has so many other things, and because of her, she makes me better. She makes me a better mother. She makes me a better person. I've done things in life that I would have never thought I would do, like work in special education, go to the Special Olympics, which if you can, I would recommend to anybody in the world. It is the greatest experience. Even if you don't have a child with special needs, just go see these children, because it's amazing, the freedom, the joy. I cry every year, and it's not out of sadness, it's out of joy seeing them. It's amazing. Yeah. And I get to do that, and I would have never ever thought of that. And I always say, I don't know how somebody could see her smile or her face and have a bad day. She's amazing. She's my gift. And you know, I wouldn't change anything that I've went through with her, because it's got us where we are. I mean, yeah, you want your child to not have issues, but you don't have a choice in that. So you just make the best of everything. You give them the best life that you can. You do things. You don't let their disability hold them or you back.
You said that Casey's disorder is regressive, meaning that she can degenerate in mentality as well as physical capabilities. What are some ways that you prevent regression?
Physical therapy, seizure control. The CBD oil has made a huge difference. As soon as it's legal in Oklahoma for her to have the medical marijuana version of it, that would be amazing, because that opens a whole nother door. But you know, therapy is huge. Seizure activity, keeping her seizure activity under control is huge, and medication interventions. Casey decides the days. She decides if we're going to be able to get out that day by the way she feels. We know when we can push her and when we can't push her. But therapy is the biggest thing, and her not getting sick.
So we've talked about Casey syndrome being regressive and some preventative ways to do that. Casey will be 22 years old this upcoming Monday, March 26th.
Yes.
That is her age, but what is Casey's mentality?
It really depends on the day and how she's feeling. About 3 or 4, I would say. Sometimes it's 2 to 3. She needs assistance with everything. She does have tube feedings now to make sure that she gets the nutrients and vitamins that she needs. But she's completely relying on us.
What do you want people to think when they look at Casey?
She's amazing. Because she is.
She's strong.
She's strong. She's just amazing. I mean, I don't want anybody to ever look at her and think, oh, I wonder what's wrong with her. Oh, poor her. Because no, she's happy. She's loved. She does everything she wants, and she gets everything she wants pretty much.
Yeah, she's definitely spoiled.
You know, she has a great life. And we don't let her disability hold her back. That's what I want everybody to do. Treat her like a person. Don't treat her like a disability. You know, if you see someone that has a disability and you're thinking to yourself, I wonder what's wrong, ask. Go up and talk. I would rather somebody come up and talk to me and say hi to Casey and ask me a question than stand back and stare.
What's an appropriate way to ask about someone's disorder? Because I know it can be kind of offensive if someone comes up to you and they're like, what's wrong with your kid? Like, that's super offensive. So, in your opinion, what's an appropriate way to start a conversation about someone's disability?
Say hi to Casey or the person and talk to them and start a conversation. To me, I would rather somebody ask me and me educate them about the disability than for them to sit there and stare at her.
Okay, Jessica.
Yes.
What did you know about Casey's disorder before you started working in the home?
I didn't know anything about DRAVET. I knew plenty about seizures. I knew, all about the medications that she was on, all about that, but I did not know about DRAVET. So Casey was a learning experience for me. When I first started working with Casey, her seizures were a lot worse. So, there was days where every time I got Casey up, we fell. I mean, we went down. There was days that she was mentally exhausted and I was mentally exhausted. I'd go home just upset, saying, what can I do to make this baby's life better? And it was hard. I will say the CBD oil has just helped her so much when it comes to her seizures. But I will say this, she has been a learning experience for me, and I just love her so much. I do. I love her so much. And she is wonderful, and if people get the chance to ever know or meet somebody with a disability, she's not the only child that I've worked with disabilities. And each one of them can teach you so much. They each have a lesson and something to teach you and something to show you, and it's amazing. So I just feel like, if you don't take that opportunity, you're the one missing out, not them.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah. I think we can all agree that Casey is one of the strongest people we've ever met. She's gone through more in her short 22 years of life than we've all probably combined.
Yes.
So to say she
Definitely.
is strong is an understatement for sure.
For sure.
She's a warrior.
She is. She just keeps on pushing.
And Casey actually means brave,
Yes.
which my mom did not know that. Did you, before you
Yeah.
named her?
I know before I named her, I did not know that. I found that out when we were in a store looking at the little prayer cards, and it meant brave. And I was like, oh, yes, that so fits her.
It's so
Fits her
funny how
perfectly.
life does little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've talked a bit about CBD oil and how it's really changed Casey's life. She's been on a huge amount of medications in her life. What was the most amount of medications you remember giving Casey in one day?
At one time, she was taking 12 different medications a day, 3 times a day. And
What is that, 36? So she was taking 36 pills a day.
not just 36 pills. Like that was 30 different. That was 12 different medications. Like her Depakote was 2 or 3 pills. I mean, that was different pills, but a number of pills.
So upwards of probably 50 pills a day she was
Yes.
taking. And now that
Yeah.
she is on CBD oil, how much has that decreased her medication intake?
Oh.
So we would say that Casey's medication intake before the CBD oil has probably come down to the amount of a quarter of the medication she used to take.
At least.
At least.
Yeah.
And we've talked about CBD oil a little bit. What is exactly CBD oil?
CBD oil, let's see. It's made from, the one we're on now is made from hemp, and it's a water soluble version. It's extracted from the hemp. It doesn't have any THC in it, but other CBD oils are made from actual marijuana.
CBD oil is used to treat a variety of things from seizures, anxiety, depression, all kinds of
Migraines,
things.
yeah.
I actually use CBD oil to treat my anxiety.
Yes.
Is CBD oil covered by insurance?
No, it is not.
So you pay completely out of pocket for that, as well as Casey's therapy, right?
Yes.
Because once the state found out that she hit, was it 21?
When she turned 21, they consider them no longer a child. They are considered an adult with the state of Oklahoma. They will no longer pay for any form of therapy. No physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy. They wouldn't even pay for nursing, but because Casey was able to qualify for a program called the Medically Fragile Program that Oklahoma has, she continues to get 16 hours a day of nursing.
She needs therapy
3 times a week for
So,
physical
wow.
therapy alone.
Plus CBD oil. How much is CBD oil per bottle, and how many bottles does Casey go through, say, a week?
The CBD oil is $137 a bottle, and they last approximately 10 days. So we go through, about 3 bottles a month.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going up on that. So as we go up on it, because she's on 0.6 mils right now, as we go up on that, it's going to be more often. The bottle won't last as long.
So the more you go up on CBD oil, the less medication she may be able to take,
Yes.
which would be amazing.
Yes.
Our goal is we continue to go up on the CBD oil and continue to go down on the medication. A lot of these other medications we have to do blood draws on and everything else because it can affect her liver, her kidneys, everything. So we have to monitor them closely. So our goal is to get her off as many of those as possible so that we don't have to worry about anything extra affecting her. She's got enough working against her. We don't want to have to worry about that on top of everything else. Okay, then
Have you noticed any regression since the state has dropped Casey in therapy?
Yes. Her muscles, she receives
Okay,
Botox
if you wanna go
injections
home, then
to help keep her muscles
finish this
from tightening up and
then
getting
look at-
atrophy.
Look at me. Look at me.
We try to do our best
Look at
with
me.
stretches and
Finish
stuff
this.
at home.
Okay.
We've noticed since she hasn't had therapy that the muscles are tighter. It's harder for her to move. She hurts more as she moves more, the more she's up and stuff.
It's all something, it's just cause and effect with everything. When you get something taken away and then you have to wait months before you get anything done.
That's like months and years for Casey because her disorder moves rapidly.
It's 2 steps forward, 10 steps back.
And ideally, she would need physical therapy, speech therapy, and
Occupational
occupational therapy. And that would help her maintain her mentality as well as her physical abilities.
Yes.
And when we say Casey regresses, what a part of her disorder makes her regress? Is it the seizures?
The seizures, just because with every seizure, it damages a little bit of her brain. With every seizure, it's like a muscle. If you've injured your muscle, and the doctor says don't do anything for a week, give it time to heal, but you don't, and you go back out and you run again, that muscle's not going to heal, and it's not going to heal properly. So you have to go because you did that and rehab it. And you need therapy to fix it and help that muscle relearn how to do things. And that's the best analogy I can come up with.
If people watch this video and they want to help Casey somehow, what is a way that they can do that?
We set up a GoFundMe page. It's called Casey's Miracles.
So people could go to the GoFundMe page and donate to contribute to Casey's CBD oil as well as therapy sessions to help her maintain her current abilities.
Yes.
As well as you started a Facebook page, right?
Yes, I did, and it's Casey's Miracles also.
So www.facebook.com/Casey's Miracles.
Yes.
And you guys can go there and wish Casey a happy 22nd birthday.
Yes. Everybody, please do that. Let's see how many people we can get telling Casey how special she is and how amazing and a big warrior she is. I try to put pictures and updates on there now.
So people can go like the Facebook page and they can follow Casey's journey and get updates on her, how she's doing, how she's feeling, and how therapy and everything's going. And you have the GoFundMe linked on the Facebook page as well, right?
I'm pretty sure I do. If I don't, Naomi will help me do that.
Okay. So just a couple more questions. So Casey has gone to school all through just like a normal kid, pre-K to senior year. And one of the most special memories for me is the moment Casey graduated from high school.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that story? And I'll also insert the video of it here for you guys because it's a very powerful moment.
It's amazing.
When we brought up her walking across the stage, everybody was scared. Because the school was so scared that she was going to go into a seizure or fall down and stuff, and they kept asking me, are you sure, and I just kept saying, yes, she needs to experience this like everybody else would. It's her graduation. She fought hard through school to do this. And at practice, we did a practice run. She did not want to walk. So we were thinking, okay, well, we're gonna have the wheelchair behind her just in case. And that day, we went up there. She was a little bit hesitant at first, but then she stood.
One kid.
One kid stood up.
One kid stood up and started cheering, and then another.
And then everyone.
Everybody.
The whole entire
stadium.
Yeah,
Because it was a stadium.
Casey still lives a very normal life. She went to school, she graduated, she gets to hang out with her siblings and play with toys and hang out with her mom. So Casey is not held back per se. She still lives a very normal and happy life.
Casey has a disability. The disability is not her.
It doesn't define her.
It does not define her. She loves to go shopping. She loves to get shirts. She loves t-shirts. She loves Ariel. She doesn't like the movie, but she loves Ariel from The Little Mermaid. I mean, her big thing that she loves more than anything is to shop. Loves it. And every time she goes to the store, just like her sister. She hangs out. She goes swimming during the summer. We go on trips and vacations, and I mean, we want her to experience life to the fullest.
So we'll leave the video here, and I'll ask you and Jessica both this question. What is the one thing you want people to know about Casey, to think about Casey?
She's amazing.
For me, I just want Casey. I want people to know about Casey is that, just give her a chance. When you stop, if you want to stop and know something about her, even if she's giving you a little attitude and a little sass, because let me tell you, a lot of times that's what she's going to give you at first. Don't shy away from her because of that. Keep trying, because she's shy. She's going to kind of push you away at first, but if you keep trying and you really want to try to learn a little about her or get to know her, then keep trying, and you'll see a little piece of Casey, and you'll love her like the rest of us. You'll realize she's amazing, and she's beautiful, and she's strong, and she's precious. So hi. Bye. You did it.
Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed seeing this part of my life. That is so special to me, and I think after hearing everything about Casey, you can understand why I call her my hero and the strongest and bravest person I know. I hope you guys will go wish Casey a happy birthday on her Facebook page. I will link both the Facebook page and the GoFundMe link down below in the description box so you guys can check them out. I hope this video sheds some light on Dravet syndrome and all the struggles some of these children go through. If you guys liked this video and liked me sharing more of my life with you guys, make sure and give this video a thumbs up, as well as hit subscribe down below. If you guys like this, I can definitely bring Casey on more and we can talk about her more and everything that she goes through. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you back here next time. Bye.